Well, hey, pedal people, it's a pedal guy here. What I'm going to show you today is how to use your HeadRush pedal board with your favorite amp, and we're going to get started right now. Well, hey there, it's Scott from the Pedal Guy. How you doing? I hope you're having a great week. I hope you're going to have a great weekend. Now, before we get too far into our video, make sure you take a second and click on that subscribe button down there and ring that bell so you can stay up to date with all of our videos. And if you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram, be sure to like and follow us so you can stay up to date with all of our activities, because we do post daily and we'd love to hear from you. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up down below and let us know. All right, well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to integrate your HeadRush pedal board to your favorite amp. And you're probably asking yourself, why would I want to do that? For everything I already get in the HeadRush, why would I want to do that? Well, frankly, one reason is because for me personally, I love my amp. I love my little Sidekick Reverb. It's a 30-plus-year-old amp. I use it quite a bit, and I still love the way it sounds. And it's got that killer, squishy spring reverb that I love so much. But also just because we can. And it just gives me another way to be creative with the HeadRush. So not only do you get all of those great effects and those great amps and those great cabinets inside of the HeadRush pedal board, but now you can add yet another texture to your sound, which is integrating your favorite amp into the mix. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and then we're going to experiment a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so looking at the back of the HeadRush here, we have the send section where we have the right and the left. Now we're only using one signal here, which is going off to the amp, so we're going to stick with that for now. Next to it is the effects loop switch, the level switch, where we can go between rack and stomp. The rack is probably the best option for this particular setup because it's the line level option. And then to the far right is the return section, and we're going to get to that in next week's video when I show you how to integrate your favorite effects into the HeadRush pedal board. Okay, now for our amp, we're using a Fender Sidekick Reverb 30. It's a 30-plus-year-old amp. It's one of my personal favorites. In fact, it was pretty much my first amp. What we're going to use is the return section on the back of the amp. Now, you can go through the front if you want to, and I'll give you some sound demonstrations to show you what that sounds like. But when you do use the front of the amp, keep in mind that you are going to now have to use the preamp and the EQ section on this guitar amp, which may or may not give you the kind of results you're looking for. So when we go through the effects return in the back, we're basically bypassing the preamp, we're bypassing the EQ section, and we are relying on the Fender here to be our power amp, and most importantly in this case, our spring reverb. So I'll give you sound examples either way, but just keep that in mind when you want to set up something similar at home. So now that we've made the connections, let's go ahead and dig into the HeadRush itself, and let me show you how to set that up, because it's really simple. Okay, so we've zoomed in now, and I've created a rig for this session. Let's bring up the other camera there. Hey there. At this point now, what we want to do is we want to send audio out from the HeadRush pedal board to our amp, and that is done by using the effects loop module. And what I tend to do in this kind of a scenario is I like to put it at the end of my signal chain. So I'm going to go to the effects, I'm going to go to the empty block here at the end, and I'm going to bring up an effects loop. And when I do, you can now hear just in the background a little bit, the amplifier has now come to life because there is now signal coming from the HeadRush and it's going straight to my amplifier. It's as simple as that. It really is. And if we look to the right here of the display, you can see that the three knobs are there to then edit the parameters of this block, where we can work with the mix, the send, the return. Now we're not going to do that for this demonstration because that pertains to working with effects, like you want to plug in your favorite overdrive or distortion or delay or whatever you want to work with. We're going to focus in on that in a second tutorial, but for right now we're just going to work with amps, okay? So at this point we are set to go, and we can go ahead and have a listen to what we got. All right, we've got our HeadRush rig all set up. We are plugged into our amp and ready to rock and or roll. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that we don't have our guitar plugged in yet because I wanted to demonstrate a neat little byproduct of this procedure, or this feature, is that you can use the effects loop as a kill switch, so as a mute. So that's a pretty cool thing indeed. So I can just plug my guitar in, I don't hear a thing until I turn on the effects loop, and there you go, now I got something. Okay, so our rig is very easy here. We have a graphic EQ and a dynamic a compressor and a graphic EQ in the upper left corner here. So let's have a listen to what that sounds like. Okay, so you're hearing the magic of that spring reverb because we have it plugged in, we have it turned on here on the amp. So that's what I love about this amp. Now the graphic EQ and the compressor are there to help just give some equalization and a little bit of dynamic control on the front end of our rig, but then we go into the boost where we get a much different sound. There's definitely something to be said for the magic of a spring reverb. Now moving along from that, we have a couple of other effects like our multi-chorus. We also have a smart harmony here. We have a dynamic delay. We also have a tape echo. Now, obviously, you don't want to have the dynamic delay and the tape echo at the same time, but I set this up without the tape echo originally because I'm sure you saw our neat little promo video that we did on this video that you're watching right now. So let's have a listen to what that sounds like. I have to say, I've fallen in love with that preset just because I just love goofing around with that smart harmony effect. But I know you're asking yourself a question here, which is, what if we use the front of the amp instead of the back of the amp? So let's go ahead and check that out. Now I'm betting one of the questions you have at this point is, okay, Scott, this is all awesome, but I have my favorite rigs that I use inside of the HeadRush. How do I get those to work with my amp? Well, it's actually very simple. In this case here, we have the Journey preset, Keep Believin', we have that one loaded up here. Now, in this case here, this is where a little experimentation is going to have to happen, or you can shortcut. And what I mean by that is you already have in this rig, you have an amp and you have a cabinet. So if you have an amp and a cabinet, going off to another amp, another power amp, you could get varied results. So what I recommend doing is experimenting with that, and that'll be the long way. Or if you want to use the short way, you can just simply turn off the amp and the cabinet and use your amp to do the driving for this particular rig. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to set up the effects loop. So in this case, because I'm using the spring reverb on my amp, I can just turn off the air reverb in this rig. I'm going to keep it, but I can turn it off. And then I'm just going to go and load up an effects loop module. and I'm all set to go. Now here, just like before, one of the cool things about when you set this up is how now that effects loop button can become a kill switch if you want. So it's a great way to unplug and plug your guitars in and out of the HeadRush without getting a pop or click out of your amplifier. So it's a neat little tip and trick there for you. Well, that brings us to the end of our tutorial. I hope you got something out of this, because this is, I think, a very useful piece of information of how to unlock some more creativity out of the HeadRush pedal board. And I hope you try it out as soon as possible. You just turn off this video and you go right out and try it right now, okay? And let me know what you think. Use the comment section below to let me know what you think. If you want to see more videos like this, less videos like this, videos with different lighting, with the different hats, I don't know. Just make up something. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button if you like the video. I hope you do. Also be sure to subscribe to our channel. Okay, we're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. We just crossed 6,000. Thank you so much for that. We really do appreciate it. And I'd like to hit 10,000 before too long, so every subscription counts. Spread the word, Hummingbird, and let us know if we can help in any way. But for more information on this pedal board and the other pedals that we carry and we sell, please visit us at thepedalguide.com. Also be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel and ring that bell so you can stay up to date with all of our groovy videos, all right? Thanks and have a great day.